Right, action. Did a little video. It's 2025. Got quite a few hammock accessories. Eclectic from a couple different places. You see a lot of these. This is the bottom quilt, and this is the bottom quilt protector or windscreen. This is a underquilt protector, they sometimes call them. And then this is the underquilt or bottom quilt itself. Then here's the Superior Gear hammock, which they integrate the insulation to it, you know, the down with the hammock, and the bottom quilt protector is snapped onto that. Kind of depends on who you get it from. This is kind of more universal. This is made to snap. And then, oh, well, how much do they help? I don't know, they kind of keep the frost off, and you can kind of like change the color of your hammock. Yeah, I don't know how much they actually help. I don't take them really with me if I'm going far. But, or if your hammock falls to the ground, you know, boom, you're not ruining a $500 hammock or something. Maybe you're going to tear the bottom quilt protector. The sock pulls over it, you know, you can imagine. I think it's inside out right now. It says breathable, but this happens to be the Dutch sock. It's pretty simple to use. You can either pull it or just as a zipper on the other side. But it doesn't really, I feel like you get a lot of frost in it. Not that that wouldn't be normal. It's good for, like, especially if you're gonna like keep your hammocks out and it's like you want something to protect it, keep the snow and bird poop off, that's for sure. But again, it packs almost the size as another hammock, so you have to kind of think if you want something like that to carry along in a backpack. Then you got the ways they oh, this is a cocoon. It's called a cocoon. It really zips about halfway up the hammock. Oh, here it is. It's a big puffy thing here, just kind of so you could, you know, tuck your sleeping bag under it if it's cold like it is here, or just if it's warm, like it's 40 Fahrenheit cocoon. The hammock's rated at 30. I don't know. I just, so far, the sleeping bag and the hammock. Not that stuff isn't cool. I had another hammock where it was pretty neat. The grand trunk that zipped all the way up it like a sleeping bag, but it had some flaws, some other flaws. It had some stitching that was loose and some stuff like that. So you take the wins. Anyway, the bottom quilt, separate from the hammock, I like because you can pull the bottom quilt up over your feet or your shoulders or whatever, especially your feet. And this bottom quilt is a big one I found. I like Hammock Gear. They sew an extra baffle on for me, and I get the extra long. And I know some people are minimal. They take like torso, smaller bottom quilts and have a pad here and this and that. And I don't like fooling around with all that. It's just annoying, and just, I don't feel like I ever get that warm. And I like the big thing to come up over the hammock. Even the Superior Gear hammock, it's neat that it has all its, you know, the bottom quilt sewn into it. But the disadvantage is you can't really like pull it over your feet or anything. So I found with the Superior hammock, when it's really cold, like my feet would be just laying against the hem here where the snaps and zippers are, and I get like a little cold. It's hard to explain, a little cold spot, but you know, it depends. Like I pull them a little tighter. Oh, the more diagonal it is, the more your feet are going to kick off to the side. Like the War Bonnet hammock, the Blackbird has its own bottom quilt that kind of comes all the way up to the feet. This thing from Hammock Gear is super nice. They sent me even another one when I had one that just ripped super easy. I don't know if I didn't undo the Velcro right or what, but they were super. They've been Hammock Gear. I've got probably the best service from. You know, right away, like to call me back and stuff. Super nice people. Todd, really nice guy. talk some hammocks and understands the sport. Sure they all do, but nice to have a place that calls you back. Yeah, hoping to get out there. I don't know, it's gonna go down maybe 5 below 0 Fahrenheit, maybe a little further. So I'm hoping this 10 Fahrenheit box baffle, so they've got the baffles boxed on the Hammock Gear, whereas this 30 Fahrenheit Superior Gear, you can't see it, but they're a lot closer to being stitched. Just look like big puffy channels, where it's more of like a rectangle each baffle insulation. I like that about Hammock Gear. Even my 30 Fahrenheit quilt from them, or 40 or whatever it is, still is boxed like that. I like the heavier duty. It's heavier duty nylon, will come a little cheaper, but maybe you don't need the extra wind guard or something like that, or extra protection. I don't know. Oh yeah, 2025.